if The Return of the Living Dead was a video game, plot, genre choices, and platforms. The 1985 cult classic Return of the Living Dead is an iconic blend of horror, comedy, and punk rock sensibilities that has endured for the years with its unique take on zombies. Known for introducing the concept of zombies who crave brains and only brains, and for its unforgettable soundtrack, the film would make an excellent candidate for a video game adaptation. Let's explore what that video game might look like, its possible genre and mechanics and platforms that would make suit this undead mayhem. Genre: horror, action, survival, open world. Given the film's distinct mix of horror, dark comedy, and frantic action, the video game adaptation would likely fall under the horror, action, and survival genres. Here's a breakdown of why. Number one, survival horror. The movie's plot revolves around a group of survivors trying to evade an unrelenting horde of zombies. A survival horror game would capture the essence of fleeing, barricading, and outsmarting zombies. Think Resident Evil meets Left 4 Dead, but with an added punk rock edge and more comedic overtones. The player would have to scavenge for supplies, build makeshift weapons, and avoid becoming one of the brain-hungry undead. Number two, open world exploration. Return of the Living Dead takes place in a small town overrun with zombies. The game could feature an open world where players can explore the town of Louisville, Kentucky, and which would be riddled with abandoned buildings, graveyards, medical warehouses, and underground bunkers. Each area would have its own set of challenges, missions, and zombie types. And number three, action-packed combat. Given the fast-paced and often assertive tone of the movie, the combat system should allow for high-intensity action with unique weapons. Players would need to survive against wave after wave of increasingly ridiculous zombie types, including the infamous Tower Man, the decomposing zombie from the warehouse, and Trash, who transforms into a terrifying zombie. Players would also have the option of utilizing quirky improvised weapons such as pipes, chainsaws, and Molotov cocktails to keep the undead at bay. Number four, zombie evolution and special abilities. One of the unique elements of the movie is that the zombies in Return of the Living Dead don't just die easily. They can't be killed by shooting them in the head, and they keep coming back no matter what you do. In a game, this could translate into increasingly difficult combat scenarios where the player has to think outside the box, like using fire to destroy certain zombies or luring them into traps. This could also mean moments of permadeath where characters die and can't come back, adding a layer of strategy to the experience. Number five, quirky humor and NPC interactions. A major appeal to the movie is dark comedy. The game could include quirky dialogues and NPC interactions in true Return of the Living Dead fashion. Players could talk to the punk characters, the grizzled mortician, Ernie, and the other survivors while navigating this zombie apocalypse, getting intel, quests, and supplies along the way. Core mechanics. Number one, co-op multiplayer mode. In a tribute to the ensemble cast of the film, a multiplayer co-op mode could be added where players team up as different survivors like Freddy, Tina, Bert, Spider, and even Tower Man for some twisted fun to battle the zombies together. The collaborative mechanics would be essential as some objectives such as barricading doors, setting traps, or defending key locations would require coordination and teamwork. 2. Zombies with unique traits. The zombies in the movie each have different personalities or abilities, like this from slow-moving Tower Man to the fast and grotesque Trash Zombie. In the game, these zombies could have varied attack patterns, weaknesses, and strengths. Some could be harder to kill than others, requiring players to get creative with their weapons and strategies. Number three, dynamic weather and day-night cycles. Just like the film's Toxic Rain, the game could feature dynamic weather systems. For example, if a thunderstorm rolls in, it could cause temporary chaos where zombies could become faster or more erratic. The night will also be particularly dangerous when a player having to manage limited flashlight batteries or lanterns while trying to avoid hordes of zombies in the dark. Number four, resource management. Like any good survival horror game, resource management would be key. Ammo would be scarce, but Return of the Living Dead could mix things up with more unconventional resources like chemicals to create bombs or gas-powered weapons, in line with the film's Trioxin gas plotline. Number 5, narrative choices and multiple endings. The game could incorporate decision-making mechanics where players must choose which survivors to save or which locations to defend. These decisions could impact the ending with different outcomes based on who survives and who turns into a zombie and how the final confrontation with the military plays out. Players can even call for the military's intervention and face the consequences of nuclear destruction, one of the most famous and darkly comedic aspects of the movie. Platforms, given the game's mix of horror, action, and the cult classic status as Return of the Living Dead, the game could be developed for both current generations consoles and PC, with the potential for a VR version to fully immerse players in the world of the Undead. The platforms could cater to different types of players, from casual fans of the film to hardcore horror gamers. Number 1, PlayStation 5 or Xbox Series X. The latest consoles would provide the graphical power needed to recreate the grimy, decaying atmosphere of the film setting while also offering the processing power necessary for large dynamic open world areas teeming with zombies. The fast-paced combat will also benefit from the upgraded hardware, ensuring a smooth and engaging experience. Number 2, PC. The PC version would allow for customization, mods, and the potential for expanded content. Perfect for fans of the movie who want to dig deep into the lore of the Return of the Living Dead universe. The game would take full advantage of the PC's graphical capabilities and offer a unique experience with high-end settings, multiplayer mode, and custom game modes. Number 3, virtual reality. A VR version of the game would be the most immersive, allowing players to step into the zombie apocalypse and feel the horror of the Tarman and other grotesque zombies up close. The game's tense atmosphere and fast-paced combat would be perfectly suited for VR, where players can physically dodge zombies and use weapons in a way that mimics real-life movement. And number 4, Nintendo Switch. For those looking for a more portable experience, the Return of the Living Dead game could also be adapted for the Nintendo Switch, offering co-op gameplay and on-the-go experience. Though it might not have the same graphical fidelity as the other platforms, the Switch could still offer a fun, more accessible version of the game, with more simplified mechanics and a focus on the humor and action elements of the movie. Conclusion: a Return of the Living Dead video game would be the perfect blend of horror, punk rock style, and absurd humor, by merging survival horror, action, and open world exploration with the quirky charm of the film. It could capture the essence of the original while providing gamers with a fresh and exciting experience. Whether it's fighting off brain-hungry zombies, exploring a toxic rain-drenched town, or teaming up with friends to survive, Return of the Living Dead game would have the potential to become a cult favorite in its own right. Hey there, fantasy and science fiction fan lovers. If you can't get enough of mystical realms, futuristic worlds, and thrilling adventures, then you come to the right place. By subscribing to Fantasy and Science Fiction at Story Nori, you gain access to an amazing collection of stories that will transport you to realms beyond your imagination. By hitting that subscribe button, you'll never miss out on the latest tales of wizards, time travels, space exploration, and so much more. Our channel is dedicated to bringing you the best in fantasy and science fiction storytelling, and we're always adding new and exciting content for you to enjoy. But that's not all. By subscribing, you'll be also becoming part of our incredible community of fellow fantasy and sci-fi enthusiasts. You'll be first to know about the latest content for the channel that you won't find anywhere else. So what are you waiting for? Join us on this epic journey into the unknown by subscribing to Fantasy and Science Fiction at Story Nori today. Your next thrilling adventure awaits. Right, hit that subscribe button and let the storytelling begin. Thank you for being part of our amazing community. We can't wait to share even more incredible stories with you.